Welcome, Madison team. Here's a recap of the March 27th, 2019 meeting that we had. So let's get into it. Just some house cleaning items. Hopefully anchoring's going well. Again, that's something we need to do. No excuses, especially this time of year. You guys have been good for it, but we need to make sure we're anchoring all bait stations outside. So let's continue to do that. We need to keep our trucks professional inside and out, clean this time of year again. Now that it's warmer, it's easier to wash our trucks. And it's also just with the dirt and the mud and everything, they're going to get dirtier. So we want to make sure that we're keeping them clean. Again, we want to look professional and having clean uniform, clean truck, clean equipment, organized. That's how we're going to do it. We should be doing a full spring service, granular webway, foundation treatment, etc. We should also be surveying the lawn for damage. Again, we're looking at that 15-minute mark minimum now, even with two of you. The idea is catching things before customers catch them. That's where surveying the lawn comes into play. We want to make sure that we do that. And we got Jeff going ahead sending me those pictures every Thursday so we can keep up to date with your inventory, which is awesome. Alright, let's talk a little bit about dust. In Madison, you guys have three types of dust. You're going to have Delta dust, Tempo dust, and Ecovia dust. We have a Boractin here, which we use to treat wood-destroying pests. Besides winter treatment, we do use dust. We use it during the summer when we need to, if we're treating moisture-ridden pests like springtails or foreign grain beetles, stuff like that that has moisture. We're going to want to use a dust because we don't want to use moisture to it. We'll also do it when we're treating for bees. Tempo dust is great for bees. So we're going to do that. You guys have that duster out there. And then Jeff and James, I believe you have the thing attached to the wasp hole. So that's great. So we do use it other times. We can use it for cockroaches as well. It works good for cockroaches, stuff like that. We should never use dust over liquid. We want to use dust or we want to use liquid. One of the two. We should never use both. We don't want to create a paste. Delta dust, for one, when it gets wet, will create a paste and will stain. So we want to make sure that we're not doing that and creating that, and we want to make sure that if we do spill some, we clean it up. But we talked about that during the winter time. We do need to be careful when applying dust because dust plumes, it kind of fills voids, so we want to make sure that it's only filling where we want to fill it. That's why we can't usually put it in vents and stuff like that. If you're treating bees in an exhaust vent, you know it's an exhaust vent for like a bathroom or a dryer. Necessarily putting it in the vent isn't a terrible idea. But if there's an air exchange or it goes to the furnace, we want to make sure we don't do that. Again, when we're applying chemical, we want to make sure that it's hitting our target. And with dust, it's a little harder to do that, which is why we just need to be careful and make sure that we're applying it to voids. So, and then, with dust, again, you want to use dust to rotate your product. So if you're having issues with ants, you can use dust in voids if the bait's not working or something like that. Same thing with cockroaches. So we want to rotate our products. And dust can be part of that rotation when used correctly. Let's talk a little bit about spiders. So spiders we identify by the arrangement of the eyes, size of the abdomen, the markings on the abdomen and thorax, the type of web that they build, the location that they're found, and then the conditions in which, whether a room that they're in. It's not always, the coloring isn't always a great indicator because the coloring can be different based on their location. Or habitat. This is a black widow spider. You can see the markings on the bottom. If you look, the false black widow will have the marking on the top. The previous one, the brown recluse, is not one that you're going to run into. If you do run into a brown recluse, you need to let us know, because we do need to alert the Department of Ag. Let's get into centipedes, millipedes, and pill bugs, and then I get some stink bugs for you at the end. I did hand you out a packet. Make sure you guys kind of read over that. That's great information for that. You'll be able to understand what you should and should not tell a customer based on that, but it's great information for you guys to know. One on the right with the long legs, the house centipede. One on the left with the small legs is just a regular centipede. Again, we went over equipment maintenance with the air fog and the backpack sprayer. Should be rinsed out daily. It's always a good idea to run clean water through the line at the end of the day. Should be scrubbed out at least once a week. Take one of those brushes and just put some warm water in there and scrub the inside of the tank to get any residue. And then I showed you guys where the filter was. That should be cleaned out about every other week, once a month. Pull that off, clean it out, filter that, make sure that it's nice and that residue doesn't build up. Same thing with the backpack sprayers. At the end of the day, you should know how much you have left and empty it, and then run clean water through it as well. All right, thank you very much, guys, and you have a wonderful day.